Hey guys, welcome. So today I want to talk to you about poetry, about rhythm in particular. I'm not going to talk for too long about rhythm because this PowerPoint won't take too long. But remember, it's from this book, Western Wind by David Mason and John Frederick Nims. Okay, so the rhythm. They say that the first rhythm in your life is your heartbeat, but they have found out actually that brainwaves actually resonate 100,000 times faster. These are the alpha waves of the brain. So rhythm is an integral part of the human life. This is from a John Updike poem. Hunched in the dark beneath his mother's heart, the fetus sleeps and listens. Dropped into light, he seeks to lean his ear against the breast, where the known rhythm holds a secret place. One of the most emotional paragraphs of William Faulkner's Absalom, which is kind of a sequel to Sound and the Fury. Quentin Compson, at the end of the story, he tells this long, drawn-out story about the South, and his friend asks him why he hates it. And I guess it's kind of almost like he realizes for the first time that maybe he does hate it, or he's really defensive. You've heard from Shakespeare, the lady doth protest too much. And he says, I don't hate it, Quentin said quickly, at once, immediately. I don't hate it, he said. I don't hate it, he thought, panting in the cold air, the iron New England dark. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. The repetition itself gives the paragraph power. Now, though rhythm is not easy to define, we can agree that it is a pattern of recurrence. Something happens with such regularity that we can resonate with it, anticipate its return, move our body in time with it, feel it coming back around, get in sync with it. People like to do that because it's part of our natural way of being. In fact, psychiatric research has discovered that rhythmical body movements can lead to altered states of consciousness. So you can see people that put themselves in trance by using a certain rhythm of their body. One way we gauge rhythm, though, is through something called accent, okay, or the stress, the natural stress we put on certain syllables of words. Okay, so the most common method for analyzing rhythm in poetry is to look for really, you're analyzing three things: meter, rhyme scheme, and stanza form. Use something called the syllable stress method, okay? Now, in English, and not all English because it differs, and sometimes it's subjective to the person, really. But we automatically generally put more emphasis in certain syllables or words than others, okay? So here's some endings that are stressed in words: referee, Japanese, physique, mountaineer, picturesque, brunette. As you can see, these are endings that for the most part are stressed usually across the board. Now this is one of your vocabulary words. This is meter. Oh, no, they're dancing. Yes, meter stands for segments of organized rhythm. Okay, and that's really all you need to know about that. The most common type of meter is called iambic pentameter. For whatever reason, the human brain logically organizes things in segments of 5. So here's some iambic pentameter for you. Those lips that love's own hand did make, breathe forth the sound that said, I hate. To me that language for her sake, but when she saw my woeful state. So essentially you have 10 syllables, unstressed, stressed, and that's how it looks, okay? And each one is called an iamb, or an iambic foot. And there's 5 feet. You wonder why we use 5? Well, you can just look at your hand and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Da-da, 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 da-da. Da-da, 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 da-da. The curfew shows a nail a parting day. I walked outside and saw my car in rain, something like that. For whatever reason, Shakespeare uses a lot when he's trying to sound high-minded. A lot of his, more common type people don't speak in it, but then when somebody's waxing eloquently about something, he'll use it. So just look for it as we read Macbeth, especially in the big soliloquies and stuff Macbeth gives. You'll see him use a lot of iambic pentameter. Just remember, 10 syllables per line. Here's a good poem This is from a poem by Robert Frost called Once by the Pacific. It looked as if a night of dark intent was coming. Now, if you read it, you'll notice that it doesn't sound like I'm using a beat system to it, but it just naturally is in there. It looked as if a night of dark intent was coming, and not only a night, an age. Someone had better be prepared for rage. There would be more than ocean water broken before God's last put out the light was spoken. All right, now when we scan a segment of poetry, all we're doing is counting the syllables and separating with these little symbols. It looks like a U and a slash, but I just used a U and an S here because those symbols aren't available in. I'm not going to have you scan anything. I was going to, but not now. What do you need help with? What happened? All right, I got you. Hold on.